Welcome back to my official podcast. This is Gaurav, and the match has just finished, obviously. And Kolkata Knight Riders, it looks like they have almost reached to the playoffs. It's just a formality because obviously Kolkata Knight Riders today have managed to beat Rajasthan Royals by 86 runs. And obviously, once you know that they have managed to beat Rajasthan Royal, so their net run rate was obviously earlier was good, and now this match obviously once they have beaten Rajasthan Royals by 86 runs, that means their net run rate has gone to the another level. I think they are almost it is off obviously once you see the table of IPL who has reached the IPL playoffs, so there will be for in the Kolkata Knight Riders it is still not written that they have qualified, but once Mumbai match will happen, they I think after the couple of balls, you will definitely see that the Kolkata Knight Riders have officially confirmed. There is a 99. Obviously, it's 100% sure that Kolkata Knight Riders has qualified for the playoffs. So we will definitely have a discussion for this match with none other than Saurabh said that who's over to the moon today that because he was supporting Kolkata Knight Riders right from the day one, and today finally, I think earlier it used to be that Kolkata Knight Riders have for the past 2 years, Kolkata Knight Riders have managed to finish at fifth number, and but today I think they have officially made it to the playoffs. So Saurabh sir, welcome back to the show, sir, and happy Navratri, sir.
Yeah, happy Navaratri to Gaurav and happy Navaratri to all your viewers as well. Uh, it was once again a pretty one-sided match because the match was almost over after 5-6 overs.
Yes,
But
yes,
as I was telling that this is an unique tournament where KKR's run rate was always better than a few
yes.
other teams because
The other
I think
teams,
their net
yes,
run rate is better than even RCB. So they have
yeah,
been able to, whenever they have won in a huge margin. And even in the second half of the tournament, which happened in UAE, out of the 7 matches, I think they won 5 and lost 2. And both the 2 matches that they lost it in the last over or in the last ball.
yeah,
So
yes.
overall, I think this has some shades of 2014. So let's see how they play the first eliminator, whatever that is there with RCB.
Okay, you have made a very bold prediction that this KKR year is going just like a 2014. But let's hope, let's see what happens. But I just saw a completely different KKR today. They were in this game right from the once the toss has happened. Ian Morgan was very motivated for this game. He hasn't talked a lot about this match. He just cleared on the toss that he just only wants 2 points. He hasn't talked about this net run rate and all this because KKR knew right from the first ball that the net run rate will not be the issue for this game. They only wanted those 2 points, and boy,
Yeah.
the once the first ball was played, KKR the KKR team looked completely different. I think for this match, obviously I was following the second phase of the IPL, but if you ask me, for this match they were completely motivated, and I obviously observed a completely a different Kolkata Knight Riders team today, apart from earlier.
Yeah. One thing you need to see that uh, if KKR would have won this match by only 1 run, then
Yes.
also Mumbai Indians has to win by 104 runs
Yeah,
to
yeah.
go
Yeah.
over KKR. So that is
Yes.
why means KKR wanted those 2 points. The margin of victory is like a additional benefit for them. That's all.
Yes.
So I think what motivated them was that there were 2 things. One was the match against Sunrisers Hyderabad. Those Sunrisers were a weaker team. They played a relatively better game. Secondly, they had Ferguson back, so that was an additional confidence.
Yes. Yes.
And another thing was that Rajasthan Royals was also down and out. So there was that
Yes.
additional confidence that this team is already down and out, so we'll be able to perform better. So playing well against this kind of a team, RR and SRH, doesn't guarantee KKR to perform well in the playoffs because the playoffs is a definitely separate
Obviously, it's a
game.
completely different ball game.
Yeah. But the one advantage that KKR has is that recently only they have beaten RCB as well as Delhi Capitals. Only CSK was the team that beat Kolkata. So there
Yes.
is a good chance of a good fight, especially if they can get Russell back. So let's see
Yes.
what happens.
Yes. But sir, you have told me that Kolkata Knight Riders got this advantage that they had a match with Rajasthan Royal. But being a CSK fan, if you ask me, the same Rajasthan Royal team has managed to beat CSK quite convincingly the other day.
Yeah, it was quite an odd match, right? CSK versus Rajasthan
Mm.
Royals. It was very odd match, and if you look at it,
Yes.
171. First of all, in Sharjah was the highest score. So somewhere down the
Yes.
line, the
Yes.
batting team played well, especially in the top three. They had actually set the base, so that actually helped them to go up to 170, and they had a good last over, which took them to 170. So it
Yes.
was more of the batsmen who created a very good base for their bowlers. So it was a good
So
batting show.
you have talked about this batting lineup, but especially you have mentioned that KKR batted well today. I was looking at some of the batting right from the first ball, and I was very surprised with the Shubman Gill. He was he looked. The intent was there for Shubman Gill that he wanted to improve his strike rate. He wanted to hit every ball out of the park. It wasn't. It wasn't looking like that Shubman Gill, old Shubman Gill who used to just time the ball. Today he was just muscling the ball. Obviously he wanted to play like he wanted to play like what Ian Morgan and Brendan McCullum wants him to play in the top of the order, and and obviously there was a much needed match that was going on for Kolkata Knight Riders. So the Shubman Gill, which we know and which everybody know, looked completely different today, sir.
Yeah, I think this is the thing that Brendan McCullum was telling for the last few months also, that they need intent at the top. I think Gill
Yes,
was having that kind of as you say, no, fear of failure. So that was going on
yes,
in his mind. I think the last match actually he was able to recover from that. So because
yeah.
I think he scored a 50, though it was slow, but he was able to score the 50. He was getting the his timing was good. So I think his confidence was back, and today he showed that confidence on the field.
So it's not about the Shubman Gill. All the batsmen were had some intent, kind of intent. They had a very good opening partnership with Venkatesh Iyer, and after that, once Tripathi came, so Tripathi and Nitish Rana. Oh, I know you are the biggest fan of Nitish Rana. He looked he looked that he wants to score some runs, and obviously he got out once he was trying to hit the six, but all the Kolkata Knight Riders batsmen had shown that they are up for this game, and the intent was showing was completely on a different level. But they wanted to score at least as much as they can, so they can be secure in this short boundary called Sharjah.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was that if they did not win, this match was
Yes,
supposed to be their last match of the tournament or
yes,
before the auctions. So everybody had a point to prove. That is number one. That is why you could see Rahul Tewatia was also in a big mood. But
yeah,
I think what happened is today, I think Sunil Narayan was at number 8. Now, so it was a pretty big batting lineup. So this
yes,
actually gave them a little bit of confidence, and especially because the first six overs went in KKR's way. So once the first 6 overs went KKR's way, they knew that with 14 overs left and such a big batting lineup, they can take risks. So that is the risk that they played. Means Nitish Rana also played very differently than he was playing against Sunrisers Hyderabad.
yes, yes,
And similarly, Rahul Tripathi, of course, he is always positive. So he also
yeah.
played. And in a pleasant surprise, we saw a sixer from Evan Morgan also.
Yes, yes, this is what I was about to talk with you, sir. That we finally saw some of the some runs from your captain, Kolkata Knight Riders captain Ian Morgan.
Yeah.
He hit this sixes. He hit the 1-6, and obviously at one point of time, Kolkata Knight Riders, it looked like they will finish at 160, but they managed to get 10 more runs. So it was a pretty much a good kind of a total in the Sharjah ground. And obviously, once the ball was keeping, obviously you were seeing the pitches, the ball were keeping low the bounce was not up to there, and obviously you know that the pitches are low and slow. So it looked like that Kolkata have managed to score 190 in this kind of wicket, though the score was 170.
Yeah, but if you look at the start of Rajasthan, they actually
Yeah.
tried to make it like think of 200 runs, because the kind of shot
Yes, yes,
Jaiswal played, you need not play
yeah,
that kind of a shot, the kind of talent
yeah,
that Jaiswal has. But you have
yes.
to give it to Morgan and Dinesh Karthik that they were able to get that 10-12 runs extra. Though at the final analysis it did not matter, but the net run rate wise it does matter. So I think
And
that
so,
was a good show.
and the changes that Ian Morgan made firstly, Sakib Al Hasan bowled in the power play. He taken a wicket of Yashasvi Jaiswal. I don't know what is Yashasvi Jaiswal was trying to do, especially in this kind of pitches where ball was keeping low and he was trying to do to play switch it and whatever it is in the reverse sweep. And after this one over, obviously Sakib Al Hasan has taken a wicket, and after the first over he wasn't bowling, and obviously Lockie Ferguson, we have seen how good Lockie Ferguson was, and Shivam Mavi was bowling at a very different level. He was having some pace and he was taking wickets also. He picked up 21 for 4. Lockie Ferguson was simply unplayable. He picked up 18 for 3. So it looked like that Kolkata Knight Riders bowler was in a mood to finish this game as early as possible. But they bowled very, very well. But I think apart from Rahul Tewatia, nobody scored. Nobody tried to hang in there in this kind of a run chase.
Yeah, another thing was that KKR was very adamant that they want to finish this match within 16, 17 overs, because
Yes,
this was
yes,
Mavi's last over. After Mavi,
yeah,
there was only 3 overs left, and all the 3 overs was Sakibul Hasan. So that meant that Venkatesh Iyer would have come to bowl if they did
yeah,
not pick up the wicket here. And Rahul
yes.
Tewatia was waiting for Sakibul Hasan to come so that he could hit those 5 sixes. But that did not happen. So somewhere
Yes,
down the
yes,
line, a little bit of miscalculation also happened from Ian Morgan's side. You can say the captain did very well. When the team wins, he takes all the accolades. But I think there was a wrong calculation. After 6 overs, he should have tried Venkatesh Iyer. And Venkatesh
yes,
Iyer's bowling form is important for KKR in the playoffs. So
yes.
they should have
If
tried
Andrew
Venkatesh
Russell
Iyer.
will not be available for the playoffs, then you need some kind of a bowling under his belt. I'm talking about Venkatesh Iyer.
Yeah, Venkatesh Iyer should have bowled a couple of overs so that this situation wouldn't have come, because
Okay.
they took 2 wickets. One of that was a run out. Otherwise, Sakibul Hussain would have come, and I don't know Rahul Tewatia what he would have done.
Yes. Okay. Important question for you, sir. What has changed for Kolkata Knight Riders in the second phase of the IPL? What has exactly changed? In the first phase of the IPL, they completely looked, what do you say? And they completely looked off. I have discussed many times, and I have already told you many times, sir, that once I predicted, once I was reviewing Kolkata Knight Riders team, and once the IPL started, I predicted that they have replacement for everything about the Indian player and for the overseas player. This team can easily qualify for the playoffs. What went wrong in the first phase of the IPL and what went right for the second phase of the IPL, that Kolkata Knight Riders have managed to qualify for the playoffs, and suddenly in the middle of the time, once the IPL got postponed, it looks like Kolkata Knight Riders, a team like Kolkata Knight Riders and Sunrisers Hyderabad would be more than happy if the IPL has postponed. But
Yeah.
Kolkata Knight Riders showed us that this break was much needed for them, and they played a completely different level of cricket in the second phase of the IPL. So, what has changed according to you?
See, I think only two changes, two things happened, right? One was Pat Cummins was not coming. Because Pat
Okay,
Cummins was not coming, there was no way
so
of
you could
playing
play.
him.
So you could play Lockie Ferguson, isn't it?
Yeah, so you were able to play Lockie Ferguson, and Lockie
Okay,
Ferguson made a difference. So that's number one. And number
fair
two
enough.
was they went for Venkatesh Iyer. Now Venkatesh
Okay,
Iyer is an all-rounder. This was something even means if you check my blogs during the first phase of the IPL, I had written after the second or third match that Venkatesh Iyer should be brought into the team. Now
yeah,
they did not do it for 7 matches. They did not try him. Now he made a
okay,
big difference at the top of the order. So there were only two
okay,
differences. One was Venkatesh Iyer coming into the team and changing the momentum, because he is not a person who will play prodding around. he is always
Okay.
going to play in a positive mindset. So one was
Okay.
Venkatesh Iyer and one was Pat Cummins not being there. If you remember, towards the end of the first phase, Brendan McCullum said that either change the process or change the
Yes.
people. So
Yes.
process
I
people are
remember that.
not following, so I am going to change the people. So the change that he did, one was by luck that Pat Cummins is not coming, and the second was by
Yes.
design that they got Venkatesh Iyer back on the top, and he turned out to be a trump card.
So it was a blessing in disguise for Kolkata Knight Riders fan that Pat Cummins wasn't available for the second phase of the IPL.
Absolutely,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay. And obviously the Venkatesh Iyer, because they have to move Nitish Rana in the middle order again and Venkatesh Iyer from the top of the order, and he looked a completely different player. Nobody thought that here is a guy who can be a proper replacement in the future if Hardik Pandya doesn't give you some overs for Team India. So if I look at Venkatesh Iyer, he has a bright future ahead if he still continue to perform very good at the domestic level and in the IPL also. So let's move
So
to our
every
next
month,
segment.
every
Yeah, go ahead.
year, every year, we get some new faces, right, from IPL. Somebody we have not known,
Yes,
somebody we have not seen, we have not heard. This
yes,
year we have
yes,
found two. According to me, we have found two this year. One is Venkatesh Iyer, another is Malik. Malik from Sunrisers Hyderabad, that bowler. These are the two players whom people did not know. He has come in the limelight. Now it is up to BCCI to groom both these
yes.
players because I think both are
And
massively
it's up
talented.
to them also that it's not only in the IPL you need to perform. It's up to them also that they need to perform once they get to
Domestic,
play in the domestic cricket also in the Ranji Trophy, in the Vijay Hazare tournament and the Syed Mustaq Ali tournament. And I think
100%.
you have talked about Urman Malik. I think he's the guy who can be proper guy who India can manage to play him in the test matches. So he needs to play
Absolutely.
Ranji Trophy for minimum 1 or 2 seasons. If I am in the BCCI, I would be taking care of him, and I will make sure that he play minimum of 2 Ranji Trophy sessions. Then I will manage to get him in the Indian team. There is a no hurry. We have a plenty of bowlers in the Indian team. It's not like that we are lacking some of the stock for the Indian fast bowler. We have lot of fast bowler. We will not hurry up for the Urman Malik. I will let him play at least 2 sessions in the domestic cricket, and then I will play him in the Test cricket. And if you ask me about that Venkatesh Iyer, I will definitely try him out in the New Zealand series, and I have made it very clear that I won't be relying Hardik Pandya every time because he doesn't give me the
Absolutely.
confidence. If he doesn't bowl me, if he doesn't give me 4 overs in the T20, he doesn't give me a 10 overs, 7 or 8 overs minimum in the 50-over game, then he is not playing in my team as a proper batsman because I will
Even as
prefer
a
to play
proper
as a pure
batsman,
batsman. Yes, go ahead, sir.
even as a proper batsman, he has not even able to score 30 runs. So in IPL, so in this year's
Yeah,
IPL, so
so
I
it's
think
not
it's a
only it's
very
not
very
only it's
risky
not only
situation.
about that, sir. It's not only about that, sir. I think he has scored some amount of runs once India was touring Australia earlier, once he was playing as a batsman. But it's not only about that. I have selected Hardik Pandya, and I have invested. We have invested a lot in Hardik Pandya just because he is an all-rounder. If
Right.
I we had to if we have to we if we had needed only a batsman, we have gone with some other option, don't we? But
Absolutely.
if Hardik Pandya is only if he has decided that he will only bat, I will look at a completely different option. I will drop him from the squad, and I will definitely ask him if you doesn't bowl, doesn't give me some overs, then you don't fit in my combination, and that is very clear.
Yeah, absolutely. Jadeja should be playing at number 6 in place of Hardik
Yes,
Pandya. That will give
because
much more. Sardul Thakur will
and
do
because sir,
as good as Hardik Pandya as of
yeah,
now.
yeah, and gone are those days, sir, where in our Indian team, every batsman who could have, who was very handy with the ballers, who used to give some overs for our main ballers, also because if somebody has a bad day, like I used to remember Virender Sehwag was giving some overs Saurabh Ganguly was a very handy bowler. Sachin Tendulkar was giving some overs. Yuvraj Singh was a very was giving some overs.
Raina,
Everybody,
Raina.
Suresh Raina was giving some of the overs. But if you look at this Indian side, nobody you can rely him that he will give some kind of a relief for other bowler who had a very bad day in the office. So nobody, if there is nobody like that in this Indian team current now. So if Hardik doesn't bowl, I'm sorry, he will not be considered as the. I will not play him as a batsman in my team. I will pick any other batsman like a Surya Kumar Yadav or any other player who is a proper batsman will play at number six. Doesn't matter if Hardik Pandya doesn't give me some overs. He's not in my team. Whether
Yeah,
it is
that is
T20 or
why.
whether it is ODI.
Yeah, that is why I am surprised that Yashasvi Jaiswal is not bowling, because Yashasvi Jaiswal is a genuine leg
Yes,
spinner as well. I don't know. That
I
is
don't
why
know
I
what
said
is
no.
happening.
Indian coaches are required. These foreign
Yes.
coaches, this is bad for actually the Indian domestic
It's
players.
not only about the foreign coaches, sir. I don't know why are in today's generation nobody wants to take an interest in their bowling also. Nobody wants to contribute with the ball also. Earlier they used to be everybody was giving their 100% once they had a ball in their hands. The likes of Saurabh Ganguly, Yuvraj Singh, Virendra Sehwag, and all the other guy. But no, in the nobody you can not rely on anyone. That Virat Kohli, you can't rely Virat Kohli that he will give you 2 or 3 overs. Even in the ODI team, in the ODI matches, Rohit Sharma you can't rely. Shikhar Dhawan has obviously retired from his bowling, and Shreyas Iyer doesn't bowl. Rakir Rahul doesn't bowl. Rishabh Pant is a wicketkeeper batsman. I mean, you doesn't have any cricketer who can give you some overs if other bowler had a bad day.
Yeah, true that.
So this is the thing, and if you see in the IPL team also, you can't see any Indian player who can be a guy in the future also that he will be in the team India and he will give you some overs also. You can't find it, right?
Yeah, no, that's right.
Yes. So that's the main reason to concern, and I will put Venkatesh Iyer as soon as possible in the mix of things for the Team India as soon as possible after the T20 World Cup. Let's move ahead
Yeah.
for our next segment called Hit and Miss. So who was according to you was hit, and who was according to you was miss in this today's encounter?
Yeah, hit was Mavi and Shubman Gill. And as far as the missing goes, it will go to Jaiswal and Sanju Samson. So
And
both
what
of
about
them
Lockie Ferguson,
disappointed.
sir? I think he was also a very super
Yeah,
hit.
means if I have to pick up two, that is what, because then there are
Okay.
many other players, because even Venkatesh Iyer played well. But yeah,
And
Lockie Ferguson was unplayable, and it took those two
yeah,
wickets in 1 over. It
yeah.
actually changed the game completely.
So what Lockie Ferguson? No, what make Lockie Ferguson a completely different bowler, a completely different fast bowler from others? Does he bowl a difficult length? That's what make completely different bowlers from other fast bowler.
Yeah, if you look at the pitch map that they were showing in the TV today, that all his balls were at that sort of good length, and because of the pace
Yes,
at sort of good length at this kind of pitches, it's very difficult. Especially Rajasthan Royals do not have that kind of a quality. Means if you had Josh
yes,
Butler and Ben Stokes, things might have been different. But this team
different
is
exactly.
relatively very weak, and I don't think players like Ajay Rawat and all the Dubey, it's very difficult for them to face this kind of a bowler, because Ferguson, when he is in full form, he gets injured. That's a big problem. Otherwise, he is a terrific bowler.
So Rajasthan Royal, I think it was their last match, right, in this year
Yeah,
IPL.
yeah.
So who I just wanted this clarification on the Rajasthan Royal because they had a very bad season this year also. Who do you think that they will retain in this for the next year IPL? Was there is a mega auction going on? Who do you think
Yeah,
that?
I think, means I don't
Yeah.
know, because can they keep three foreigners? I don't know if they can keep three foreigners or two foreigners. They will definitely keep Josh Butler and Ben Stokes. Next year, both of them will be back 100%. So they will keep these two, and they are investing long term on Sanju Samson. So I guess they will keep Sanju
Yes,
Samson. So these
yes.
are
So
the
if
three
I'm
players I think they will return.
and all the other players will go to the auction table again. Yes, and you are
Yeah,
very
yeah,
right
yeah.
about it. I think, and I think the disappointing thing was seeing young Indian players who Rajasthan Royal keep invested a lot, keep investing them in a lot. They didn't come in a party, and that was quite disheartening to see from the Rajasthan Royal. I think we are done
Yeah,
for today,
it's the
sir.
same thing. Same thing was with Sunrisers Hyderabad also. Like
Yes,
Abdul
yes.
Samad, Ryan Parag, they also flopped.
But I think if you talk about, I think there are more Indian players, more young Indian players in Rajasthan Royal from Sunrisers Hyderabad. It's
Yeah.
like Rajasthan Royal in Sunrisers Hyderabad. They were playing Manish Pandey, Kedar Jadhav, and all this. And if you see in the Rajasthan Royal, all Indian players are young players. You can't
Yeah, but one
you
good thing is
can't.
that this season we saw the glimpses of SSC Jaiswal. So I guess
Yes,
SSC Jaiswal will be a far better player next year. You can
yes,
be
obviously.
damn sure about it. He is a very good batsman.
And I don't know why Rajasthan Royal have managed to back a lot of players, and the players didn't paid off for them. I think the Rian Parag was one of them.
Yeah, I think another thing they need a better coaching staff. I think Sain one makes a very good coach for this kind of a team. I don't know, means Sangakara. I'm not very sure if he is the right
It's not
person to
about.
motivate.
I think it's not only about the coaches. I think you need, as I have talked many times, discussed with you many times. It's about the combination. You need the right
Mm.
kind of a combination with the overseas player and the Indian players. That makes a team completely different from others. You see, Mumbai Indians obviously they are struggling in this year IPL, but that doesn't take away that they have a proper team. They have managed to they have managed to win five IPL. I think yes, and Delhi Capitals has the same very good team. They hasn't won a single IPL, but the combination they have is very good with the overseas player and with the quality Indian players also. So it's I think we need I think you need a combination of both to and to need to have a very good IPL.
Yeah, but that's true. But you have to give something to Rajasthan Royals because three of their top buys are not playing. I mean, Jofra Archer,
Yes, yes,
George
obviously.
Butler, and Ben
Jofra
Stokes.
Archer and Ben Stokes.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's a huge
yes,
difference, right? You get two bowlers who are world
yes.
class, plus you are getting a wicketkeeper come batsman who is one of the best in the world. So that's a big difference for Rajasthan Royals.
And so you don't forget, Rajasthan Royals have managed to invest 16 or 17 crore for Chris Morris, and he hasn't paid them
Yeah,
off, isn't it? That's
that was
that was the
wrong,
biggest
right? Just
disappointment.
like KKR,
Yes.
KKR invested in Pat Cummins means there is a limit how much you should spend. Just because
No,
he is a
but
bowler, I have to go for him.
Pat Cummins wasn't leaking. I know he wasn't taking a lot of 4 wicket, 5 wicket haul. I completely agree, but he wasn't leaking runs as Chris Morris is doing for Rajasthan Royal. He hasn't leaked any runs. If you look at Pat
Lots,
Cummins,
lots of
yes,
runs. Lots of runs. One of the matches he went for 56 runs against Chennai. Last year
but
against Delhi
he managed
Capitals,
to
he
score
went for
some runs.
50.
Yeah, he managed to score with the bat also, sir. If you remember
Yeah,
that match.
yeah, of course, of
Yeah.
course. So
So
that is what I
apart from
said.
that match,
Means his primary work was bowling. He ended up
yes,
becoming a
I,
all-rounder
I
in
completely
KKR.
agree. I completely agree. But Pat Cummins wasn't leaking a lot runs as if you see Chris Morris. So it's
Yeah,
completely a different.
Chris Morris, first of all, he is way out of his prime, right? Pat Cummins is still one of the
Yes.
best bowlers in the world. Chris Morris is
And one
now
more thing, sir.
what is
And one
yeah,
more thing, sir. Pat Cummins is still playing international cricket. He's part of this
yeah,
Australian team.
of course,
Chris
of
Morris is
course.
not being considered for the South Africa team. He
Yeah.
doesn't play the South Africa league also. He doesn't play all over this league. And suddenly, out of the way, out of the blue, he comes in the IPL and he gets a lot of money. So it's completely. I don't know what
Yeah,
the
even RCB spent
what
a
the,
lot. Even RCB spent a lot on him last year.
I think RCB has spent on the Kyle Jamison, right?
Yeah, this year, but last year they spent on Chris Morris and then they left him.
I think they have buyed Chris Morrison 9 or 10 crore, isn't it? But
Yeah.
Rajasthan Royal have broken all this record, 16 crore.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he has taken a 16 wicket in the season also no, or not. I
No,
would be
no,
quite
no, no.
surprised.
Not taken. Not
Yes,
taken.
exactly. Yes, exactly. So I think we are done for today, sir. It was a pleasure talking to you. I hope you have enjoyed the match and enjoyed the conversation a lot. especially congratulations that RCB, that your match will be against the RCB, and Kolkata Knight Riders have officially confirmed their places in the playoffs, isn't it?
Yeah. Thank you, Gaurav. It was pleasure speaking to you. And thank you, everyone. Good night.
Okay, guys, do like the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Till then, bye, good night, take care, and we will meet tomorrow.